that time of month again where the TBR jar picks our August reads. Hello and welcome back to Alexandria Loves Books. Welcome. Happy to have you here. Sit down, enjoy yourself, get comfortable. We are picking the August TBR. Normally I do 8 prompts each month. I'm gonna do 5 in August because, that makes me sad because my serotonin just fills up every time I pick a prompt. So the fact that I'm doing less this month makes me a little upset. But I need to be somewhat realistic because I'm going to be moving in August, and also I will be out of town visiting family for a few weeks in August. So I don't know how many physical books I can actually take with me because books take up a lot of space and packing and all the things. So I don't realistically know how much I can read this month. I might maybe read some like ebooks that aren't on my physical TBR. I don't really know what this month is going to look like reading wise. So I'm going to do 5, so it's a little bit more attainable, but also that in and of itself might be hard to reach because I don't know if I'll be able to bring them all when I go traveling. That makes it sound so much bougier than it is. I'm going back home. That's what I'm doing. So we're gonna do only 5, but we're gonna have the best time of our lives doing it. Okay. So I do know there's a lot of books in here that have been on here for a while that I want to get through and but there's also a lot of like new releases on here that I want to read. So I don't know. And I also really don't have any solid video ideas for August. So I'm just gonna, see what happens. Prompt number 1. And I'll let you read it first because I am a gentle woman. A book that starts, a book outside of my comfort zone. So that probably doesn't mean the books that I'm more eager to read. This cart is so packed that I can't get books out. That's not good. Sign that I need to get to reading. I think I'm going to go with Kingdom of the Wicked by Carrie Maniscalco. Hope I'm saying that right. I know this is the first book in a series, which do I need to be starting a new series? No. Does that mean I'm not going to start a new series? Also no. This is a fantasy romantasy vibe. I think it's YA, but I don't know for sure, but I think it is. This follows Amelia, and she's a witch, and so is her twin sister, but then she finds the body of her twin, and so now she's seeking out her sister's killer and wants vengeance, and then kind of gets into some dark stuff, and then she meets Wrath, who is one of the princes of hell, and she's been warned against him, but he claims to be on her side, but nothing is as it seems. I'm interested in this book because Sarah Caroli, I'm pretty sure, loves this series, or at least she loves Wrath, like the character. I know that much. So she was the one that kind of made me interested in this series. I purchased it, and then I was watching old Rachel Catherine videos. I'm pretty sure it was an older video, and she mentioned that she read this book but wasn't a fan and didn't like it and decided to not even continue the series. Which also, when I purchased this at Barnes & Noble, the cashier asked me if I've read any of this author before, and I said no, and she said this is so good that I'd love it, but that the second and third book are even better, and that this one kind of reads more young adult, but the others are more new adult, I guess, or like not as young adult. So it's out of my comfort zone because, one, I am still new to fantasy. I am intimidated by fantasy and I want to get more into it, and also it's out of my comfort zone because I don't fully know what I'm going to think of this because I've heard so many different thoughts. So book number 1. Prompt number 2. I forgot that my hand barely fits in here and my tweezers are not within reach, but we'll do what we have to do. This one is number 2. Oh, a book with a great first line. Okay, this is going to require some reader participation here. I'm gonna have to read a bunch of first lines. Let's see, let's go to the books I know I want to read like more sooner rather than later. Oh my gosh, well, this isn't the first line, but the dedication for If He Had Been With Me, for my husband Robert. Without you, I wouldn't have known how to write about true love. Are you kidding me? If the prompt was based on dedication, be this one. Okay, the first line, like, it's interesting, but it's not like that great. Okay, that. I feel like the beginning pages and paragraphs are great, but just the first line itself is not. Okay, I also want the game changer and the au pair affair. Okay, we have a winner. It is the Au Pair Affair by Tessa Bailey. It makes me so happy because I love Tessa Bailey and I love Fangirl Down, which is the first in the series. So the Au Pair Affair is the second one. It's an interconnected standalone. The first line of chapter 1. Tallulah Aiden had never seen blood droplets sail through the air quite so gracefully. Like, what? That's our book. I love you, Tessa Bailey. And I knew too, as I started like reading them, like different books, first lines, I was like, you know, Tessa Bailey is gonna bring it. Prompt number 3. What does it say? Tell me. Highest rated? Listen, do I get rid of this prompt? Because every time I pull it, I never want to do it. And listen, I know that I could go on Goodreads and I could enter in all of the books on my TBR into a shelf and then see which one's the highest rated. But there are too many books on my TBR for me to do that. That would take too much time, and I used to do that and it was a pain and I didn't enjoy it. I think Carly Jo once had mentioned Storygraph, but prompt number 3. Oh. I saw one of the prompts that said more than 500 pages and I was like, no, not doing that. Okay, this one's really long and I'm nervous. What does it say? Whoa, sorry, hold on. A book that starts with the first letter of the month. Okay, August A. Oh, A novel love story. Yay! That makes me so happy. I want to read this and I'm really excited for this. The main character just like ends up in this small town, in this fictional small town from her favorite romance novel. And I need to read that. Like that needs to be somewhere in my brain. Ah, yay! Also, I don't know if I mentioned what the Au Pair Affair is about. It is a hockey romance and single dad romance, and she becomes basically like the nanny. So it's a nanny, single dad, hockey romance. What more could you want? This like actually, should I do more than 5 just for the heck of it? Well, no, it'd be a waste, and then I wouldn't read them, and then I feel discouraged. But we'll see how I feel after doing the 5th one. But we're almost done. We're at 4. Okay. Sorry. A book that you think will make you cry? Oh, that's perfect. That sounded weird. But if you had been with me, my best friend from back home and I said we were going to do a little like book club, just the 2 of us reading this book. And we just haven't, like we said we would start like a month ago, but then life was crazy and I never started it. And then she said she started like a little bit, but hadn't read it much. But I said that I would read it before going back home. So I need to read this quickly. And I've heard that this makes people cry and everyone gets really emotionally attached. I'm pretty sure Sarah Caroli has cried. Well, I'm sure she has. I'm sure everyone has. But I'm pretty sure over this book. And I think other booktubers as well. I don't fully understand what's going on. This is a YA romance. Autumn and Finn were inseparable. Something changed and now they ignore each other. And I'm pretty sure that I've been told that the like tragedy of the book or whatever, like this really upsetting thing is, they tell you about it in the beginning. And then you have to like read their story knowing it, like what's going to happen. So I'm interested how like that story structure will like play out and how it will read and how I'll like react to that, if that makes sense. So, bestie, I promise these words will be coming into my brain. Be going into my brain? Look, they're in my brain. That's how reading works. Excuse me. I'm a lady. I know. Prompt number 5. Let's see. Book you've heard mixed reviews about. ideas for this one. I'm thinking I could potentially do The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. This is, I don't know, Greek mythology, tragedy, love story. I do somewhat know how this ends. I also recently went to see the play Troilus and Cressida, and that kind of has these characters in it a little bit. And so, I mean, I know like this is this author's story and it's focused on them versus Troilus and Cressida is different, but it's still the same characters. And I know how that ends, and I've kind of heard how this ending is. I've heard people are like diehard for this or don't really care much, so I've heard mixed things about this one. I've also heard mixed things about The Only One Left by Riley Sager. I've only read The House Across the Lake by him, and I really, really love that book. So I want to read more by this author, but I'm pretty sure Larry Reeves said that it wasn't that good. Or maybe I'm thinking of a different Riley Sager book. But I don't know. I don't know. I'm counting it as mixed reviews. So back in 1929, the Hope family was murdered, and everyone thinks that 17-year-old Lenora was responsible, but they were never able to prove it. And so now Lenora is an older woman. It's 1983, and her home health aide, Kit, arrives to care for her. Oh, Lenora is mute because of strokes and can only communicate by tapping out sentences on an old typewriter. And then one night, Lenora wants to tell Kit everything that happened. So it seems interesting and kind of creepy and like, oh my gosh, what's going on? So I'm interested in this one. And then I'm also considering The Housemaid's Secret by Frida McFadden. I love The Housemaid. It's the first book in this trilogy, and I know a lot of other people loved it, and I've heard people pick up the second one and they loved it, and I've heard people pick it up and say it's very much just like the same thing. And it's kind of repetitive, especially with the third book that came out. Obviously, I haven't read that one, The Housemaid is Watching, it's called. But people have said that it's literally just like the same thing. And it's like, because it's the same main character, and we already know what happened in the first book. And so now she's like nannying or housemaiding. Oh, right, she's a housemaid. Maiding, that's not the right word. But she's now working at this new house with this new family. And it's just like the similar thing that's kind of repetitive. I'm kind of leaning towards not Song of Achilles, just because I don't love Greek mythology. Like, I'm interested, but I don't know if I'm gonna be like an active reader. And I'm happy about one of these because I am in a mystery thriller mood, or I want to have a mystery thriller, because all of these are romance in different ways. But which one do I read? So this book, The Housemaid's Secret, is categorized as psychological suspense, and this one is categorized as horror and gothic. So I'm like, okay, that kind of helps me differentiate the vibes. I'm kind of leaning towards The Housemaid's Secret, but it's literally like a 51% leaning towards this, 49% this, and so I'm really struggling. But because I'm slightly leaning towards this one by like 1% more, I'm gonna choose The Housemaid's Secret. So to recap, for a book outside of my comfort zone, I chose Kingdom of the Wicked. For a book with a great first line, I chose The Au Pair Affair. A book that starts with the first letter of the month, I chose A Novel Love Story. A book I think will make me cry, If He Hadn't Been With Me. And a book that I've heard mixed reviews about, The Housemaid's Secret. So here is our smaller August TBR. Hopefully I'll read even more than 5 books in August. We'll see. I think I have a few random books back home I might end up reading while I'm there. I don't know. We'll see where God takes me this month in regards to reading and just life. Let me know what is on your August TBR. Let me know if you've read any of these books, what your thoughts are. If there's any of these books that you want to see a reading vlog or hear my thoughts about in some way, in some video or post or something, let me know. And of course, you can always follow my Goodreads to keep up with what I'm reading and what I'm reading, what I'm reviewing. It's going to be a good month, both in life and in reading. I'm a little sentimental because a lot of changes going on in my life right now, and this is the last sit-down book video I will be filming in this room. It's a very bittersweet moment, but I'm really excited for what the next month is going to hold and all the fun we're gonna have along the way. Sorry, I'm kind of stretching off a little off of reading, but it's included in reading. Just feeling very sentimental right now. So thank you for being here with me. Thanks for supporting me. Thanks for watching this August TBR. I will see you in my next video. I don't know which video is going to be going up first, but I have some fun, exciting videos coming up for you. Stick around, subscribe, like, comment, do all the things. And I will see you on the internet sometime soon. Bye!